And if Wheel of Fortune host Pat Sajak seemed just a little bit off in the early days of the popular game show, there's actually a good reason. TMZ posted this interview of Pat Sajak that aired on Dan Le Batard. Check it out.
Have you ever done Wheel of Fortune a little bit drunk?
Yes. When I first started and was much younger and could tolerate those things, we had a different show then. You didn't win money. You won fake money with which you could buy cheesy prizes. A turntable would go around, and housewives from Teaneck would say, for $100, I'll have the lamp. No, I'll have the... It was the most boring 2 minutes in television. But because we had all those prizes, we had endless time between shows. Our dinner breaks would be 2.5 hours long while they drove in new cars and boats and gazebos and stuff. So we had in NBC in Burbank, we had a place called Los Arcos across the street, which is Spanish, as you know, for the Arcos. And we go, and they serve great margaritas. So we would go, Van and I would go across and have 2 or 3 or 6, and then come and do the last shows and have trouble recognizing the alphabet. They're really good tapes to get hold of.
Sounds like our kind of job.
Yes.
How do you read the letters, though, after all those margaritas? I'm not sure. Speaking of substance abuse, though.
Right, and Demi Moore is now seeking help, reportedly for substance abuse, following her sudden hospitalization this weekend.
Yeah, apparently she is just partying like a teenager. Tabloids are reporting now that she's devastated, of course, after her split from Ashton Kutcher. We've been talking about this all week. They say he's playing some mind games with her. Apparently, he indicates that he may want to reconcile, but then he jets off to exotic locations with other women. So take a look at this TMZ report.
Yeah! Ashton Kutcher! Bouncing, 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 popping, popping, bouncing, bouncing at a Bruno Mars concert in Brazil. All right. And not to be a buzzkill, but this was one day after his estranged wife, Demi Moore, was rushed to the hospital.
This is crazy. Demi Moore was hospitalized from a reaction to nitrous oxide.
More commonly known as laughing gas.
Oh, boy. I don't know. How do you feel about that? I mean, because they did separate. I mean, it's not necessarily his responsibility to be there for her.
No, he just got caught on camera.
He got caught on camera behaving irresponsibly.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he felt bad, and that's why he drank and got away. Who knows?
Maybe that's how he escapes. I don't know.
You know, we never really know what happens behind closed doors. We don't judge around here.
No, we don't.
We try not to. Now, do you love going to the movies? Are you a big movie guy?
I do. I haven't been in a while, but I do.
What's your favorite genre of movie?
I like action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like Top Gun?
Yeah.
That kind of movie.
That's a blast from the past. Yeah, Top Gun, definitely.
Yeah, we always talk about that. That's why I said it. But yeah, I mean, a movie's always a good idea. And this weekend, there's actually 4 new films that are hitting the big screen.
Fox's Ashley Dvorkin has what's new in theaters.
Joe Morelli skipped out on bail. 50 grand, dead or alive.
From page to screen, Katherine Heigl gets into the action as Stephanie Plum in One for the Money.
I might like his better.
The first installment of the best-selling book series follows a Jersey girl down on her luck who ventures into the bail bond business.
You're going down, bro.
You know what? You're sexy as hell.
With a starting assignment of hunting down an old flame.
Today is the day that everything changes.
In the thriller Man on a Ledge, Sam Worthington plays an ex-con who goes to shocking lengths and heights to declare his innocence after being accused of diamond theft.
You need to come in.
I'm ready to die.
And that's just the start of the drama. Taking the tension to a more frigid degree, The Grey follows an oil drilling team who survive a plane crash only to face the elements outdoors.
Nobody's going to find us. Not here.
Luckily, they have Liam Neeson leading their fight for survival. He doesn't tend to back down easily.
Man.
Such a kind little man.
And finally, a physical transformation and 19th century drama earned Glenn Close an Oscar nomination for Albert Nobbs.
Jesus, you're a woman.
You won't tell on me.
Starring as an Irish woman who disguises herself as a man in order to find work and finds herself tangled up in the facade.
I think you are the strangest man I've ever met.
Award season drama, action-packed thrillers. It's a wide variety to choose from this week at the movies. In New York, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Well, I dated us by saying Top Gun. Now I'll date ourselves again and say Glenn Close has come a long way from Fatal Attraction.
Yeah.
She looks totally different. But there's so many great movies out. I'm looking forward to catching up on some of the films that are nominated for Oscars, so I feel like I have something to root for.
I really like the Gray. I'm looking forward to seeing that one. That one looks good.
Yeah, and Liam Neeson's such a good actor. I'm looking forward to seeing. I love seeing him kind of at the helm of any movie, really.
Yeah.
I think he's actually shooting Taken 2 at this point, which is going to be very exciting. So,
cool.
yeah, we'll keep you posted on that. Now, at the beginning of the show, I mentioned that I was a big fan of Dylan McKay. For those of you who don't know, again, dating myself, in the early 90s, Dylan McKay, of course, on 90210 was one of my favorite characters ever. And actor Luke Perry played the part, and he is now starring in a new made-for-TV movie that actually premieres tomorrow night on the Hallmark Movie Channel. And I got to catch up with him earlier this week. Actor Luke Perry has moved from Beverly Hills to the lawless frontier in the Hallmark Movie Channel highly anticipated sequel to Goodnight for Justice. In Goodnight for Justice, The Measure of a Man, Perry reprises his role as John Goodnight, the once fun-loving lawyer turned judge whose authority is often tested by the lawlessness of the Old West. Well, Luke Perry is joining us this morning with details. Good morning, Luke. So happy to have you.
Good morning. That was a great description.
Did you like
that? That was perfect.
Oh, I love it. I'll tell my producer you liked it too. We were talking about it, and we're so happy to talk to you. We've been a fan of your work, of course, all the way back since the 90210 days, and you know, since your days as the brooding but sensitive Dylan McKay, which I have to say I watch in reruns on Soap Nut every weekend. You know, you've been so busy. I mean, from the stage to the screen, and such diverse roles for you. I mean, what draws you to the roles that you play?
If I haven't played them before, is a big one. I like to try different stuff. But having said that, I would like to play this character over and over again. I've been having a good time making these movies.
It's a great film. I mean, and the first one, of course, was directed by Jason Priestley, which was so cool, you know, to see the two of you working together again.
Yeah, and it was great. It was great for us too. We had, you know, a lot of fun. We had worked together before with Jason directing. He did a lot of the episodes. On the original Goodnight for Justice, though, it was just he and I out there. There was no studio telling us what to do, no producers really, and we got to figure it all out by ourselves, and ultimately we did pretty good with it. So it was a lot of fun. And this one, Measure of a Man, you can see here, that kid's got a gun on me, and that's not so cool. But that's kind of what this story is about. I got to explain to that young man that there's a better way to go about things, and that's the beginning of his lesson.
Sure. And the idea for Goodnight, I mean, it was not only conceived by you, but as we mentioned, you're also the executive producer. So, you know, tell us about the character, because I don't know if a lot of people are familiar with John Goodnight. It's a character, as you said, that you would love to play over and over again. So who is he?
Yeah. He's not a cowboy. He was a lawyer in Chicago, and he was very good at that, so he's kind of a city guy, but he got appointed to be the circuit judge in the Wyoming Territory.
Okay.
And he went out there thinking he was going to get some revenge in the first movie, but ultimately what he came to find out was, no, the justice is important to him, and what's fair is important to him. So he functions very well as a judge, but he's also kind of a restless soul who, you know, drinks a lot of whiskey, plays a lot of cards. And that sort of lends itself to a guy that needs to keep traveling and needs to keep moving, and it's kind of the best of both worlds. And that's the thing I like about the character is I know who he is, but I know he's going to be somebody a little different each place we go, and I like that.
Do you find yourself really feeling very familiar with that character of somebody who gets restless and wants to try new things but is always out for the better and out to fight for justice?
I would like to think that I'm always out for justice. I think we all are. Everybody has a really strong sense of what's fair and fair play, and you want to see that honored. But I'm very comfortable in this character because I have a great group of people around me. Everybody's very supportive of it. You know, the executive producer thing, that's just something that has to happen in order for me to be able to make it happen like I want it to happen on the day out there. And the guys at the Hallmark Movie Channel have been great about that. And they give me a lot of creative freedom to make the movies. And that's why I think that, you know, they're a little different. Sure. But they're also your basic classic Western, which is the kind I love. I don't need a bigger, better, faster, fancy one. I like a real good old one.
A good nitty-gritty one, the kind that we like to see. I mean, really getting down to the grit. And I have to mention, I mean, you just mentioned Hallmark Movie Channel. Goodnight for Justice was actually Hallmark Movie Channel's highest rated movie of all time. That's huge. And there's actually a third installment prepared for Goodnight for Justice called Queen of Hearts, correct?
Correct. We filmed that this summer. Right when we finished Measure of a Man, we went right into Queen of Hearts because I had the clothes already. I had the beard,
can't waste
and I
good
said,
wardrobe.
yeah, you know what? Let's just keep it all going. Which is the other thing I really love about this character. I never have to get fitted for wardrobe anymore.
Love it.
I wear the same clothes in every movie, so I just show up. You know, if I got the beard, they got the clothes, and seriously, the same boots, everything. I kept all the clothes, and I just keep wearing them. And I don't like to wear new clothes, so that's good for me.
It's perfect. And in the meantime, Goodnight for Justice, The Measure of a Man premieres tomorrow night on the Hallmark Movie Channel. We are so excited for it. It has been such a pleasure to talk to you, Luke, and continued success.
You know what? I had a good time, too. Thank you guys for having me. I hope you enjoy Measure of a Man, Hallmark Movie Channel. I'll see you there.
We will see you there, and we are looking forward to it, and we'll be right back. Cool. Thanks, Luke.